Frequency, intensity, and duration are always present in learning anything, and you, the teacher, have to be aware of this and use it appropriately, right? Now, I could teach you something. You don't speak Japanese.
Sushi?
No. You don't speak Japanese. Okay, let's say, for example, what's your name?
Janet.
Janet. Let's say, for example, I want to teach Janet the Japanese word for toilet. Could be very handy if she ever goes over there, right?
Yes.
So I say, okay, Janet, here's the deal. I'm going to teach you this word by calling you 10 times a day, every day for the next 3 weeks. Okay? And with a repetition then of how much would that be? 210 times over 3 weeks, I guarantee you she'll know this word, right? In fact, probably after about the third day, she's going to be, I got it, don't call me anymore, right? I'm going to call back. I just want to be sure you remember the Japanese word for toilet, benjo. Can you say that? Benjo. Thank you. Okay, goodbye. I'll call you in 10 minutes, right? Another method would be to say, Janet, teach you this word. I'm only going to say it one time, and you may not ever look it up or ask anyone again. But if you remember it 1 year from today, I will give you tax-free $1 million cash in gold. Will she remember? Yes, I have just created an intensity of experience that she will use her willpower and just force those neurons to make permanent connections because the carrot is that big. Benjo. Right? Benjo, you got it. 1 year, though. Okay, now, the opposite, I could create a negative intensity. I could say, Janet, here's the deal, and teach you the word. I'm going to say it one time. You can't ask anyone or look it up, but 1 year from now, I'm going to ask you again. If you don't know it, I will kill you. Okay? Now, that would also be intensity, but it wouldn't be as effective, because the fear of death will impede the learning. I could also take that 200 repetitions, and instead of doing it over 3 weeks, I could stretch it out over 3 years, right? And instead of calling you 10 times a day for 3 weeks, if I called you once a day for every, once a week for 3 years, guess what? You'd remember the rest of your life. Right? You never forget that. Whereas I could squash all that frequency into a narrow period of time, and you would eventually forget if you didn't have reinforcement. You with me on that? So when one of these is high, the others can be low.